No, seriously, my cat was just like there, but like the room was locked. I don't know.
She locked the room, but the cat was in the room.
It was inside the locked room.
But you didn't know the cat was in the room.
Well, he must have snuck it in before. There's only that, or he's a witch, are the two logical.
Maybe he's a familiar.
I wouldn't be surprised. We'll talk about cats this episode.
Yeah.
Monday. Yes, we will.
I'm excited for this episode. I'm not gonna lie.
And how devilish! Oh, we're gonna fight. Yeah. I love it.
You think we're gonna fight?
I mean, not fight, but argue.
No, I mean like argue. You think we're gonna debate on this one, huh?
I do.
Hannah! Wait, are we live?
We are live.
Oh, okay.
Did I not say that? No. My bad. Yeah, we're live right now.
I'm glad I didn't say anything. Oh my god.
What, were you going to talk smack about someone or something?
Maybe you. No.
Were you gonna? No.
No. Oh my god.
These fuckers.
Are we being weird already?
No, we're supposed to be weird during this part.
We're always weird. Let's be honest. We're always
Hello, weird. Hannah, Banana, HD.
What the? I feel like I forgot how to do this. What the?
I cannot take you literally anywhere.
I can't ever take myself seriously.
That's the fun of being streamers, right?
Facts, yo.
Oh my God. We're almost ready, guys. We're going to start in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Almost there. Hello, Logie Bear. Logan.
Hello, Logie. We're so serious today.
I'm not serious at all. I'm going to make a complete ass out of myself today. It's going to be great.
Oh, come on. You never make an ass out of yourself.
No, but I mean like in a fun way. Don't worry, no seriousness is happening.
Wait, is my mic still messed up?
It is. Let me guess. Hannah left no comment.
I guess it's time to look for a new mic. I'm really upset about that.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine. You'll just have to help me find one because I have no idea what I'm doing.
I got you.
Thank you.
Don't worry. I'll help you spend your money.
Listen. You know I like to spend my money.
Oh, I know you like to spend your money.
Ew.
No, wait, hold on. I literally just agreed with what you said. How did that get me in trouble?
You're always getting yourself in trouble. Come on.
I literally agreed. I said exactly back to you what you just said. Somebody you're like, well, you can't say it, bitch.
I'm a bougie bitch. Ooh. It's fine.
I just got to send it to my, just one more thing. Mines.
Mines.
You know Mines?
You've talked about mines. I'm not on it. I guess maybe I should jump on that bandwagon. Maybe I
Yo,
don't know.
it's like half dark web, half Facebook. It's the
Okay.
dark web for mainstreamers.
Okay. Okay.
It's basically everyone who got kicked off of other sites.
I mean, I don't think I've ever been kicked off of other sites because I try to watch what I say, but there's a few sites that I would absolutely love to get kicked off of.
Hannah says I bought a $25 USB mic and it works wonders. That's weird. I got one of those and I just don't like the way I sound on it. Like,
Well, I just don't understand. Like, this is a really nice microphone, and it's not that old, so I really don't understand where the buzz is coming from.
So Hannah
And
says, Lainey, I didn't mean that with any malice. I want to help you. We know that.
we know.
We
We
you.
know. Hannah, you gotta stop taking everything so seriously. I promise
Mothership
you.
Monday is a place for shenanigans.
That's right. And nothing that you say I take
Hello, Miss Vicky.
seriously. Why so serious?
Logie Bear says, I just realized something amazing. I can hear you fine. Is it? Wait, what did you realize that's so amazing? Please let us know.
I would like to know. Indeed.
Would you say that you are ready? Would you say you put out your links and we are ready to start this episode?
Give me 1 second and then yes. 1.
Please stand by for Mothership Monday, which is actually happening on a Monday. I
know. Wait, come on. It usually always happens on a Monday. Time out.
Logie Bear just said, I realize you can stream completely naked and no one would ever know. Logie, you don't understand. When I was on Spoon, 90% of my cast, I was nude.
He was naked.
I was naked and I was eating chicken wings and getting sauce and bones all over my hairy chest and guzzling out of the bottle. I wouldn't use a glass.
The visuals, guys, the visuals.
And that's why I like audio only streaming. That's why I'm into the radio. Because wearing a shirt is the most overrated thing a human could do.
Facts, yo. I've totally gone live in the nude, and it was glorious. And now I have to like put my makeup on and get cute. Like, ew.
So Hannah says, I am not being too serious, but when Manta says, did Hannah make another comment about your mic? I love, yeah, because Hannah, you like it's no offense to you, but you are constantly reminding Lainey about her mic. You're the one who notices the mic more than anyone. So,
I mean, yeah, okay, I guess I need a new mic. If anybody would like to join the cause of helping me with a new mic,
yeah, let's start a GoFundMe.
Yeah, for Lainey's new mic.
Yeah, I need a new everything. So you're on. They can see you, so you put your
hi. So I literally was fixing myself, you jackass.
I didn't mean that. That just sort of happened.
Thank God I wasn't like, I don't know, scratching my nose or something.
Hannah's volunteering to get you on.
Hannah,
naked yet classy. You're right, Miss Hippie.
I'm always classy, naked or not. So.
Yeah, she was referring to me, but
I know she.
Because I'm saying in Spoon, I was basically should have been known as the Naked Mantis.
Were you honestly always naked?
Maybe not always, but I would love it when I was running short on time and like Rogue Planet was about to start, and I'm in my boxers. And I'm like, I don't need to put on pants. I just sit down and just stream like that.
Oh yeah, especially like in the dead of summer when I would have to close the door. Like I was practically naked.
Which technically, all the things we're saying is meant for another stream because we've got other thoughts today. We digressed greatly. Welcome to Mothership Monday. I am the Fat Mantis, and I'm here with
Lainey O.
Lainey O, how are you today?
I am fantastic today. No complaints.
Are you ready to get supernatural on it?
You know, I'm always ready to get supernatural.
You know, we're gonna fight.
I don't know. Okay. I don't see why we would fight over this topic specifically, but I'm always ready for a good debate.
Oh, because I'm gonna say things that incite rage in you, in your heart.
Perfect.
But I only mean it for the good of this show.
Well, I feel like people enjoy when you incite rage into my heart. So, let's do this. Let's have a good debate.
It says Lainey is a witch, burner at the stake. And today's topic, as Hannah has brought up, is witches and warlock. We're going to go over magic users, practitioners of magic. No, this is not for your D&D campaign or whatever nerd crap you're doing. This is real life stuff we're talking about. You're here with Mothership Monday. We're asking you, before we get started, remember to like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow us on Twitch, check us out on all our socials. We're on Instagram. We've got Discords. Join us. Join our cult. And one day we'll take over the world.
We've already taken over the world.
So to start this one off, Lainey, do you believe in magic?
Oh, 100%.
Right. And so I think one of the things we're going to argue about is at one point you had said that. And I had used the D word to describe you and people like you. Do you remember what that word was?
No.
I said that you and Rainy Tears and all these people who are burning incense and wearing crystals are dabblers. You're dabblers in magic. You know not what true magic is, or you might know what it is, but you don't engage in it. Now, is this a fair statement or just a mean statement?
I think that I definitely dabble. I think that I would like to learn more. I'm not gonna fight you on that one. As I'm literally touching my crystal to keep myself grounded so I don't murder you. Yeah. So I think that I am trying to find my way more into the magic realm. I do consider myself a baby witch. I've never been taught. I've never had people to show me the ways of magic. So I'm learning on my own, which is hard to do.
Bell Boy, thank you so much for the donations.
Thank you, Bell.
It was great to see Bell out there, man. Bell is so real. He really is a staple of this community, and it's always good to see him when he shows up.
100%, Belle. It's really good to see you. Thank you for being here tonight, and thanks for the bits. Can you really dabble in magic? It seems like you have to be all in or not. So I think that what Mantis is trying to say is that I don't dabble. I think that I have powers that I am trying to learn and be more attuned with. So maybe dabbling. Oh, fuck you. Okay, so can you? No.
So before we get into it, this insulting statement that I said.
Yeah, that was a little insulting. I'm not gonna lie.
Loki, that's the perfect example. It's like people go to super kicks and call themselves martial artists. Exactly. So I think we have since The Craft. That movie about those bitter girls, we have like at least 2 generations of young ladies who are like, well, I'm totally magical. And I'm like, how are you magical? And they're like, I burn sage when I move into an apartment. I'm like, oh, you're a witch, all right. Yeah.
Okay, but time out. First of all, I just want to let you guys know that you should not be burning sage. Sage is actually not what you want to use to cleanse. That is a Native American ritual, and it's kind of in tune to that culture specifically. You really want to be using like rosemary or a sage that was bought specifically from a Native American, because you can actually allow bad juju into your home by burning sage.
Wait, so let me get this. So a white man can't sell me sage.
A white man he should not be selling you sage.
His sage doesn't get rid of ghosts; it brings them there.
Actually, sage is a gateway. It actually can 100% open paths rather than close.
But I'm saying, what if the Native American that you're talking about, like, is like a dude who works at Walmart? Like, does it's ethnically sealed to them? That only
it's ethnically sealed to them.
Yeah. Oh boy, this is gonna be a rough one.
Yeah, I can see this. I've been enhancing my practice pretty heavily on the past months. Belle, that's awesome. And I'm excited to get into that conversation as well. Rosemary is for protection. Yeah, correct. Rosemary is for protection. Sage makes
Yeah.
delicious sausage.
Before we do it, I do want to do first thing I want to do is before we talk about warlocks, or should I say practitioners of magic, and witches, which are different things. And if you want to start explaining that, you can, or I can. It's up to you.
Well, yeah, I think that we might argue over what a warlock is, possibly. So unfortunately, warlock has kind of been a misconstrued word throughout history. People believe that a warlock is a male magic user, where it's actually it is gender specific. It is always a male, but it is actually an evil magic doer. Where a witch can be female or male.
Right. So, but also another thing that you got to say about witches. So here's really what the definition of a witch is, as opposed to a wizard or a warlock.
Okay, go ahead.
And so a witch is definitively described as somebody who has sold or sell or entered in a pact with a supernatural entity, such as a demon or the devil himself, to gain magical abilities, which does not necessarily in any way mean they're educated in the ways of magic. They can be as ignorant. They can be as ignorant as our 7-Eleven working Native American guy, our sage sales. That's what a witch is.
No, you're wrong, but
Look it up. That's what a witch is.
That's not what a witch is, but that's okay.
Is.
That's not what a witch is. Also, a witch doesn't have to go into a contract with just only demons or the devil. I think that
you're using like witch as the way the guy who invented Wicca is.
No, I'm using it as in the paganism way of gods and goddesses that you can absolutely 100% in tune yourself with. There's goddesses who are constantly going and trying to help witches.
So,
Hecate, one of them.
Wait, but
Freya.
Hecata is a goddess, and therefore anyone who links to her is a priestess, not a witch. So you are belittling paganism.
I am not belittling paganism, sir.
That's not what a witch is.
Oh my god. Okay.
This is I'm Cherokee also.
I'm Paladin, so I guess I can use sage. I have sage in my home that I've been meaning to burn, and I haven't done it because I'm like, am I enough percentage to burn this and not get like killed by a ghost or a demon? Wow. So okay, I guess we view things differently, more differently than I thought we were going to view things, but okay, cool.
So I think the miscreditation of that word, or the bastardization of that word, as opposed to of which comes from the creator of Wicca and Wiccaism. Do you strictly think that witches are innately evil? So yeah, if something is a witch, yes. If someone is a practitioner of magic, they are not a witch. And so that's a completely different thing. But witch is Middle English. It's a word from Middle English created by religious people to describe someone who has made a pact with the devil. That is what that word means. And so it doesn't matter what the people from the craft call it or whatever. And they're like, we're witches. If you're just practicing magic, you're not a witch. If you're just a Wicca person who does like luck spells or love charms, you're not a witch. Like a witch had a specific meaning, and it was created by religious people to talk about this particular demonic evil people.
Okay.
Because I'm saying, if we're talking about somebody who's just like, I am in pact with Apollo or something, they would be a priest or a priestess. They're not a witch, right?
Okay.
I mean, would you agree, or am I just talking like an ass?
No, I'm gonna drink my drink.
No, you're not allowed to be silent, because that's what this podcast is about. You have to tell me when I'm wrong. Right.
So wait, then by Lainey's definition, wouldn't all religious people be witches? So I drank that a little too quickly. No, I don't think that. Wait, why would I think that all religious people would be witches? I think that there are people who can practice magic and still be religious. I think that there are 100% Christian witches or priestesses, whatever Mantis wants to call them. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I would. Yeah, so there are not only Christian practitioners of magic, and there's Christian magic, but there's also people who have gone into leagues with saints and other angels, and so I would say they're witches. Yeah, I would say that they are witches. Because remember,
so once again, I'm gonna make you eat your words and admit that witches are not innately evil, and that yes, they can 100% link up with a saint, a god, a goddess, and that's a witch. You just said it, sir.
No, yes, but right. So, however, I didn't say that angels couldn't be evil, right? And so, in true Christianity practices, there's only one God. That's Yahweh, the Father. And so, they're not supposed to be making deals with anyone. They're not supposed to be summoning Saint Michael into them. They're not supposed to any of that. That's what Santeria is, right? And so I would say that the people who do Santeria are witches. I mean, would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because they summon the saints to themselves to do different magical things. And
Correct.
I think that is.
But do you think that's evil? Do you think that is evil magic?
I do.
Are you serious?
Yes, I do. Bell says, but that's not true. Many witches practice double contract. Yeah, double contracts are absolutely possible with deities, but a perfect example is the Green Witch practice, who has no need to form a pact with any being, but instead draws the power from their work from natural energy and the elements provided. Now, and so I would, for instance, call that person a druid, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe I'm getting my D&D terms.
I feel like you're okay. So like, if there's one thing that witches generalize is that it doesn't matter if you're a priestess, a sorceress, a wizard, you're still considered a witch. You started out as a witch and you level up basically. So like a sorceress is like the most powerful witch that you could possibly be. And you don't agree with me.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that. That's not levels. So what?
It's leveling up 100%. It's leveling up. It's learning your and getting in tune with your magic. 100%.
No, because what it is that there are lots of practitioners of magic. Actually, probably the majority of practitioners of magic do not do contracts with anybody. And there are
100% witches who were born into it, and they intuned their powers through their mothers, their ancestors, who don't need to go into a contract like you say. 100%, they get their powers like Bellboy said from nature, from the moon, from.
And so I would say those are druids. I would say that's a different thing than a witch. Okay. I'm saying it sounds like it sounds like your definition of dragon being anything with scales. Your idea of a witch is anything that has some sort of supernatural ability.
Excuse me, time out. I never said that my definition of a dragon was anything with scales, first of all. Second, oh my God. Oh, so we're really going to get into this tonight. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying.
I want to remind you that the chat was like on my side, not yours.
They were.
And I had you admit that you believed that dragons were real and still living among the world.
I did because of some of them, but I would say you said that the alien reptilians were dragons.
I said that it possibly could be. Why not?
Well, I
don't understand why you would. Are we going? So we want to go back to last week? Okay, that's fine. All I'm saying is that we can't sit here and say that the reptilians couldn't be dragons. Like, why do we have to say that they're not? Why do we have to say that they are? And again, language is so subjective. Thank you, Hannah. It is subjective, 100%. Wicca feels like the water
version of witchcraft. Yes, that absolutely is.
It 100% is. Anyway.
It's some budget shit. And so what it is as much as we believe language is subjective, if we're going to approach anything from a scientific angle, you have to define your terms. Right?
I'm defining you as no.
I wanted to see where that was going to go. No, there are people that have an excuse to burn them. Yes, and so Val, exactly. So what I'm saying is the term witch was invented by religious people in order to burn people.
Okay, listen, I'm not going to sit here and deny that at all, 100%. And I know we're going to get into witch trials and burnings and hangings and things like that.
Oh, we are. That all the fun stuff.
But
no, not to do it, to talk about. You don't think? Come on. You're looking at me like I'm a monster. What up, Demon Omega? How are you?
Because you are a monster. Lainey is the witch of the wood.
Oh.
I don't know how to take that, but thank you. I keep thinking of Mighty Python right now and the Holy Grail and the scene. Witch! Yo, that's actually a really good scene. Sorry. I geeked out a little bit. You've seen Monty Python, right?
Yeah, no. So wait, I'm just trying to think of the next question to zing you with.
To zing me with? I don't feel like I've been zung, but
oh, you get zinged all the time. So let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
So
I'm waiting for it.
Say that someone who enters into a deal with a demon is the same someone as someone who practices hermetic magic, where they are meditating, charging sigils, and putting good affirmations into the world. They're the same thing as someone who sells their soul to the devil.
I think that they're still considered witch.
They're
good witches and bad witches. They're a witch. They are a witch.
Okay, but they're not doing the same thing.
You could be a dark witch. You could be a light witch. You could be a green witch, a nature witch. Like there are so many different archetypes of witch. Yes, they are the same thing. They are both witches.
Okay. And I just see the difference between you and me in the discussing things is that like my language is very deliberate and yours is very not deliberate. You're looking for an insult. I see you're trying to think. You're like, did he insult me? I didn't insult you.
I feel like you did.
I'm just saying, like, because I would say you shouldn't generally say they're all witches.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Right.
All right. Right. So you're sitting there and you're saying that good witches are, or whatever you want to call them, a priestess. It's a priestess, not a witch.
So I think there's a difference between a priestess or a priest of a pagan god.
Okay,
goddess,
but priestesses
right?
were still burnt at the stake and
fine. But can I finish?
Marked as a witch.
All right. So there's a difference between a priestess and a priest of a pagan god. Someone who enters a pact with a demonic force or entity. Someone who simply practices hermetic charms and sigils. Somebody who gets their powers from nature, which would be a druid, in my opinion. And I think that all these people they're all different and they have their own category of practitioner of magic or whatever.
So what would you consider me, Mantis?
Well, a pain in my ass, but other than that, well, let me ask you. Let's talk about it. So Ken says, can we discuss what magic is? I think that's a really good question. And Hannah says like fallen angels and stuff. Yeah. So what I don't know enough about your practice. I would have to know about your practice, but I think there's a way to define more of what you are than what, some general, what I think generally, here's what it is. I would say that generally calling everyone a witch is ignorant. That's what I would say.
Okay, so you're saying that if a goddess or an angel or whatever wanted to come and make a pact with me and say, I want to help you on your journey of magic, I'm innately evil to go into that pact with them.
Well, I guess no. Wait, hold on. It depends on the entity and what the entity wants and what you have to give the entity. Yeah,
but you literally said 2 minutes ago that it doesn't matter if they're going into a pact with an angel or not, they're innately evil.
Okay, so I would argue that an angel that's doing what he's supposed to do will not enter in a pact with somebody. A fallen angel or an angel who's not doing what he's supposed to be doing is probably up to no good.
Okay, and what about Hecate, who is a goddess? Well,
what about? So she's a goddess, and if you were communing with her, I would say you're a priestess of Hecate. I would not say
not a witch.
I wouldn't call you a witch.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe some inquisitor would call you a witch, but I wouldn't call you a witch. You see, you feel? Demon Omega says Warlocks was Hollywood BS. And if you go back to historically, especially during the Salem witch trials, one man was never called a warlock and two witches are gender neutral. Yes, yeah. I think a lot, yeah. None of us think that like witches are, there are many things. I was looking at all these different, because you know how I love to research my stories before every episode. I saw one mess up story in the medieval times. I forget his name now. Of a dude who basically he was on a witch trial, but basically if he was found guilty, all of his lands would be given to the state, and like his family wouldn't get anything. And so what they were doing is they were doing the trial of water, and they were putting weights on him to see if he would resist going down. And they were like, confess, do you have anything to say? Confess that you're a witch. And he looked at his family and he knew that if he confessed, they would lose everything. And so he said, more weight. And they put more weight on him and he drowned. And so he knew he would die, but just so his family would still have their farmlands.
Yeah, I mean, the witch trials were brutal for sure. Every confession that was confessed was torturous. They call me out without any conversation on practicing, and we talked about how.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed the first part up here, which is it says he said I actually met 2 other witches at the bar today.
That's awesome.
That's actually pretty awesome. That's very.
I've actually met witches at my job as well. I'm a witch. Demon, so am I. But supposedly, so Mantis thinks that witches are innately evil. He believes that we should not categorize every magic user as a witch, and that basically, am I wrong?
No. So let me say, because you're saying what I'm saying, but in a corrupt way. So here's
100%. Why would I not corrupt it?
I'm saying that what it is that not everyone is a witch, and I don't think we should use the term for every practitioner of magic to be witch, because the term was originally meant by its creators to mean something evil.
So says you.
And so if we're using the term witch, I would say that that's something evil. You see what I'm saying? Not just a practitioner of magic. Aren't witches generally considered practitioners of magic? Let's discuss what is magic. So actually, Lainey, why don't you kick it off? What do you think? What do you think magic is?
I think that magic is any type of power that, or sense or intuition that is out of the realm of normal humans.
Okay. So I.
Okay.
So I would also say that unfortunately this is crazy. Once again, we're gonna get into bicker talk.
Oh
because
my god! Why do you want to bicker with me tonight?
No, so I would say
that
I believe that there's at least two types of super generalized forms of magic.
Okay.
Right, and so the first one is just a general practitioner of magic.
Right.
Who is someone who is able to use their will to bend the rules of reality in one way or the other to whatever end, whether it's negative, positive, whatever. That's one thing.
Okay.
And I'm saying those are used with like sigils and charging them and affirmations and meditation and accessing your Gnostic mind.
Okay.
All that stuff is one thing. And then, however, there's the stuff that like the supernatural entities do, which I don't claim to know what that is. Like I'm saying, if Apollo comes down to you and he makes the sunrise, I don't know what that is. I don't know what he's doing. I'm not sure if that's the same thing as someone who's like, I'm gonna bless people with good fortune today by infusing them with goodness.
So do you think that gods are magical? So wait. So time out. Like I want to know, do you think that gods are magical?
But the general definition, obviously it's magical. But really, I'm just saying they do something that I don't claim to know what it is. I don't claim to know how that works.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, not really. I think that I'd like you to try to inform us a little bit better on your definition of magic.
Okay. Look at the disdain you have in your tone.
I have no disdain whatsoever. I just, this is very dear to my heart because I do consider myself a magic practitioners.
Val says
I'm
this
a witch.
All this is being recorded, right? Yes. This
Yeah.
is,
Oh yeah. The whole thing is
Lainey,
recorded.
I believe
ahead.
in you, and that's why I don't believe you're a witch.
Kiss my ass. I don't understand. So you don't want me to be a witch because you think they're evil.
Yes, but like what I'm saying is, I think people you loosely use that terminology.
I don't think that I use that terminology at all loosely. You've seen what I can do. Have you not? Do you not? Okay, so when
I see what you're talking about. No, I know what you're talking about. And I don't think that's a witch either. I don't think that's witchcraft.
So you think that my intuition is just normal intuition? You think that my affirmations are normal? You think that my card readings are normal? No, time out. So you don't think that the energy that I put out into the world reflects the energy of the people who I surround myself with, and that's not magic?
Lainey,
you don't think I would like you to? I'm asking you a question.
Let me. Can I answer it or?
Yes.
No, that is magic. I do believe that that's magic. I don't think it's witchcraft. Once again, this is the terminology thing. Is that I believe witchcraft is a very specific type of magic use. And so I don't think that someone who's an empath or someone who's a telepath or someone who's clairvoyant is necessarily a witch. But you use witchcraft and witch for everything. And so you're not defining your terms. And so that's why you're getting offended with me right now.
I'm not getting offended, but again, I did ask you earlier, what would you categorize me as? And you never answered.
Well, no, but it also has to do with your practice. What do you do other than having empathy? Than having an innate ability with empathy?
I read cards. I'm gonna sound like such an asshole right now, but like you. Okay, go ahead. Are you asking me? Are you asking me what I do, or would you like to?
So you are a practitioner of magic, but I would say, in my definition of the categorization of magic, you are not a witch. You look so offended. You're like, why can't I be a witch? You son of a bitch. You animal.
Carbureting?
So Logie says, Lainey, what entity have you sold your soul to?
So I have not spoken to any gods or goddesses or demons or angels. I am not in tune with my ancestors. I'm a baby witch.
Yeah, Belmont said, "Here, man, just talk about tarot."
He's literally had me read his cards. I'm just gonna put that out there. Lainey gonna haunt you tonight, Mantis.
I think it's so funny that you're making it seem like I'm not a believer. I'm very much a believer. But
I never said that you weren't a believer. I know that you are a believer. What I am sitting here and saying is that you and I have a very different definition of what a witch is. And I
just looked up the etymology of the word witch.
Okay, you looked up the etymology of witch, but like there are several different etymologies of witch where you're sitting here and you're saying, so one okay, are you actually doing one fact check, sir? As a streamer, you're literally just doing one fact check,
no, I looked
not
up
multiple.
Witch. I just did witch etymology, and then they tell you they're like, it came from Middle English from the word witcha, or it's wicche is where witch originally came from. That's the first time it was spotted, and it was meant to mean somebody who sold their soul to the devil. Okay. And so that's that. So to me, that's what the word means, regardless of what, like I said, what the movie The Craft says. Think of. She looks like she's about to claw my eyes out.
Bring that back, sir, and read it out loud. Thank you.
Thank you. Think about Mantis. She's got some key pointers.
Thank you.
I'm not sure what points she has made.
Oh my God. I swear to goodness, sir. I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut and not yell at you. Oh, card reading, not card reading. Yeah, Loki, no, I card read. I know that I have a lisp going on, you know, with these lovely braces. The witch from Robin Hood Men in Tights is legit. Ken, I have to agree. She's a hag in my personal opinion. I do think that there is a difference between witches and hags. Yes, yes, I do. I think that a hag would be considered an evil witch. But Mantis doesn't want me to generalize all witches into one category.
Yeah, you're just lumping everything together. It seems that
I'm
Mantis
not,
has a
though.
definition whereas Lainey does not.
Loki Bear, I will beat you. I think that what you're trying to say is that an evil witch would be a hag. I think that you are you want so badly for everything to be categorized. You like your little boxes. You like things to be placed neatly
How
and,
can you
and
discuss
separately.
something if you don't define it? It doesn't make any sense. It makes so our podcast here is to discuss, like, this episode is about witches and warlocks, right? So how can you define anything how can you discuss anything if you don't define it?
Can you bring up demons little?
Where he says, I'm with Lainey.
I'm with Lainey. Because you know what?
Demon then says, but I'm not allowed to be. No, you're allowed to be with whoever you want, Demon. I don't think
it's okay, honey. Be with me because I'm right. I'm always right.
To let you know, Hippie also agrees with you.
See, thank you again, guys. Thank you so much. I'm just saying.
Is Gandalf a witch? I would
Technically, yes. Technically, yes. I believe, like I said before, that it is a level up. When you have powers, it doesn't matter if you're do you think that Gandalf just one day was like, I could do all this magic and I can summon this and summon that and do this and blow that up and use my stat? Like, do you think that turn into something, or do you think that he learned these tasks and he learned how to become a wizard?
Oh, hold on real quick. Matt's here. Matt says, I'm here. Did I miss anything?
Hi, Matt. Yeah, we're fighting tonight. We are fighting.
Matt's going to love this one.
Good, I'm glad. We are fighting. We're fighting hard. I did not think that this was going to be a fighting episode. I honestly thought that you and I were going to generally see things on the same page. I was grossly wrong. And that's okay. I enjoy arguing with you.
I just don't understand the point of calling everything witchcraft. It doesn't make sense. It makes no sense to me. Like, I was like when I was researching for this thing, I said, well, what is witchcraft? And I looked up the meaning of the word witch. One would think that the meaning of the word would have something to do with anything. And you're like, no, everything's witchcraft.
Okay, so paganism. Let's get back to paganism. What would you call it? What would you call it? It's literally a paganistic witch. Like where are you getting that?
Where are you getting that phrase though? Paganistic witch.
Oh, don't make me
like who is saying it? Is it in an anime or something? I'm sorry, I'm having too much fun.
I cannot wait for the after show. I'm gonna lay so hard into you. I am censoring myself right now.
So, Ken, I'm not super familiar with like the books of Lord of the Rings. It's been a while since I read them. To my understanding, I don't think that he ever did invoke the power of deities, right? I think his magic was based off of knowledge.
His magic was based off of knowledge, and that's the definition of wizard, basically, or
right.
Sorcerer. That they tend to use more mathematics, scientific, and magic together. Magic like the card game. Can I be honest with you, Matt? I still have my cards. You shall not pass.
No, so I don't have my original cards, and then like basically when I became a Sunday school teacher, like the kids were playing, and I was like, and I went out, I bought a box of like cards.
I will go down into my parents' basement, and I will get my cards. If you ever want to play,
we should do a VC game, like a bunch of people playing on VC. We have our cameras on our cards rather than our faces.
Oh my god, I want to do this so badly. Let's do this. I'm geeking out right now.
Wouldn't it be fun, guys?
That would be a lot of fun.
It would be so rude, man. Just rude. Okay, so
Thank you. So I feel like half of the chat is with you and half of the chat is with me.
here's what I'm saying. Here,
Okay.
would you like me to go over what I think non-witch magic is?
Sure.
I mean, if you're not open to this, I can
I'm
just not
so open to that.
I could just let you look at me mean the whole time.
I'm not looking at you in any type of way, sir. I'm just sitting here and I'm saying that I think that you, like I said, I think that the definition of witch, you want to sit there and categorize witch as this evil being, and I just don't think it's that. I understand where you're coming, and you're sitting here and saying,
I know
wait,
where you're coming from too.
Because I'm not a priestess. I'm definitely a magic user, and I would call myself a witch. That's all I said. I still got my cards too. Ice Age is where I started. I'm gonna go find my cards.
In my opinion, calling everyone a witch has been popularized in this day and age by ignorant people who don't know what they're talking about.
So now I'm ignorant.
Not you, but I'm saying it's been popularized, and unfortunately, you're like, people call me a witch, so I'm a witch, right? And so if we want to get into Hermetic magic, right?
Go ahead.
So the main steps, and you practice this. You actually do practice this.
So you do know my practices. You just
I
don't
know some
know
of your practices, but I don't know, man. For all I know, you've got an altar to the devil at home.
I do have an altar. I actually do have an altar. It's not to a specific diet. Like I said, I have not been reached out to yet, or maybe I have and I just haven't answered. I just don't think that it's innately evil for me to sit there and contract myself with a goddess or my ancestors or.
Hello, Logie. Thank you.
Logie, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much.
We appreciate that. I feel like
it's all right to have an altar. Like, I think, I don't know. Like, I feel like basically, you know what?
You've seen my altar. I've shown you my altar.
It's because I have, because I have a dick. That I'm the monster here. That I'm the oppressor of witches, right? This is some anti-male shit. Am I right? Who's with me?
But there are male witches, Mantis. What the front door?
So
I'm just gonna drink my water.
The Hermetics of Magic, and we're talking about Hermetic magic. Some people think it's just cultural into the Greco-Roman sense, but no, Hermetic magic is actually technically practiced everywhere, and this is usually 99% of the type of magic that you face in this world, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And so the first thing you have to do is you have to have connection with Gnosis. Mm-hmm. And so, they call it Gnosis in the Western world. In Zen Buddhism, they'd call it the dhyana mind.
Okay.
It is a state of your mind where you see things for what they actually are, rather than the illusion that the universe is created for us. And in 99% of the times, there might be other practices, and there's different definitions for the word I'm about to use. The way you do it, you work up that Gnostic muscle, is meditation. You meditate.
I meditate a lot.
You meditate to destroy the illusion of the universe that has been presented to you, and to increase your ability to connect with the dhyana mind. Enlightenment in Buddhism is you're in the dhyana mind all the time. Now, whether that can be achieved, obviously that's argument. There's an argument about that. There's literally a religion, Buddhism, that would say you can. It's possible. Others would say you can only be in it for a short time. But the more you meditate, the more you're training your mind to say, F the bullshit that's around me, and I can actually understand what's going on. And so one of the first practices you got to do, would be 99% of Hermetic magic. You have to meditate. You have to do some form of meditation. Now, there's different forms of meditation. There's literally physical meditation, and there's the usual thing I think everyone thinks is they cross their legs and they're like, oh, that's definitely meditation. But there's such a thing as physical meditation, the way Kung Fu guys do it, or whatever. But there's different ways. There's pain tolerance meditation. There's all these different types of meditation. But you got to train your mind, and that is the first step in using Hermetic magic. And so the reason why I have to differentiate this type of magic from like making a pact with a supernatural entity is they are clearly different things. I cannot say these things are the same thing. You feeling me? Now, once you've been training and your mind is a little more enlightened, you're closer to enlightenment, This is something Lainey does every day. She has her server do it. I think it's very good for everyone. Is your affirmation.
I don't do them anymore. I need to bring those back.
Oh.
Shows how much you're in my gosh darn Discord, sir. Yeah, no, I do affirm. I'm big on affirmations, 100%. Sounds pretty anti-male. Wait, what? Eastern versus Western mindset.
He was saying that when you were attacking me.
I'm not attacking you, and I'm not ever. I would never ever be anti-male. Just gonna put that out there. Like I said, I think that there are male magic users as well. All right, you might be. I don't think that you're changing my mind, but you might be changing my mind a little bit. I'm just sitting here and I'm saying
we're only in stage 2, but stage 2 of 4. But go on.
Okay.
I'm saying there's more to my rant.
Oh, well then keep going.
Yeah. Okay. So then there's the affirmation, and you have to know what it is. Now, from what I understand and what I'm learned, it is very, very important to actually write down your affirmation, not just to speak it. Speaking it is half the battle, but it is more important to actually write it down and to actually have a physical copy of this thing that you're affirming to the universe. Your goals in magic, essentially. Right?
Okay, yeah.
And so this is the first step of a spell.
Okay.
Right? A spell saying you're saying what you want.
Okay.
I want my friend to do good in their track and field meet today. I want to overcome abuse.
Okay.
I want to do well in the job interview. The affirmation is a very important part of the spell. And the next part of this, part 3, is the sigil. And so what it is that different religious and mystical orders have different symbols to mean things. You can use one of them, but technically, from what I understand, you can literally make up your own symbol or idea when you write down your sigil.
Okay.
A sigil is something that represents the relationships of two things. And even if it's a language of just one, even if you make up your own symbol and language, it is very valid.
Okay.
So you have your sigil, you write down your sigil, you can create it from a rune, you can put it on an object, put in all these things. And the next step is to charge your sigil. You have to evoke your emotions into it. Now, supposedly, the more the more Gnostic your mind gets, the more spiritual your mind gets from meditating, from training of meditation, the better you are in invoking that.
Okay.
Right? And so this can be anything from invoking it from sexual energy to rage, to love, to beauty, to joy, whatever it is, but you're instilling it in there. Right? And so these are the basic breakups of magic practice and spell use. And this is actually makes up about 90% of magic use, like throughout the history of man. And so I would say anyone who does this kind of stuff is, they're trying to change their reality through that, is not a witch. That's
what would you call them?
They could be a wizard. I think Demon didn't like the phrase warlock, but I didn't know if that's an offensive term. I don't know the term.
Warlock, like I told you earlier, warlock is not. It is a derogatory term in magic use.
Right. So here's what I'm saying: wizard and sorcerer tend to not be. They tend to be just generalizations. People don't know what that really means. So I would put that tag on them.
Okay.
Okay. So how are you feeling so far about that?
Sure.
If you seem to be a know-it-all, so tell me.
I am not a know-it-all. Wow.
She's like, sure. Your idea of magic is clinging on to a crystal and burning incense.
No, that's not.
And the reason I called you a dabbler at the beginning of the episode is because all the discipline parts of what I've just described, you're not into doing.
I've never tried to do it. I think that I could do it 100%. Wait, what? I write down my affirmations every day, supposedly, in my Discord that you're not a part.
The main thing is the meditation, man. You need to find a way. Whatever your meditation practice is, you got to find a way to shed the bullshit society and the world has put on your mind, and you got to transcend that.
I meditate every day.
Do you?
Yeah, and not like the meditation. I meditate every day.
Do you
And
mean
I
like
affirm
you
every
watch
day.
Kim Kardashian? That's your meditation.
Oh my god. He wants to get smacked, guys. He
Oh,
really does. He wants it. Um the best meditation. I can't even read that out loud. Have someone kick you in the groin repeatedly. I recommend you
you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Some Shaolin actually do that.
What?
Yeah. So the Shaolin do have a lot of physical practice meditation, and some of it is actually through torture. Like that, you know, they'll condition themselves, and then they'll stand in a horse stance, and people will beat their backs. Sometimes I've actually seen them do the whacking the ball thing.
That just sounds awful. I'm sorry. Listen, I get it. Like I think that women honestly probably meditate every day even without knowing that they're meditating, especially when it comes to pain, tolerance, whatever. Is there a witch hierarchy world witch organization? Did you see that? Ken's asking.
Where is he? Oh, down at the
YouTube.
bottom. Okay. That would be horrible if there was, but you know, yeah, that's all you need. That's all you need. A McDonald's of witches. Come on.
I mean, that's what we have. That's what covens are. Covens. I don't think
Well,
that there's
covens are
probably
small.
one.
Covens aren't
Covens,
huge.
they're small. They're no.
Yeah, they're not
they're,
like. Like imagine you're doing your practice and then someone shows up at your door and they're like, "You can't do it like that." Like, yeah, fuck them, right?
I feel like I'm just today's great.
So, yo,
right.
in order to defute anything I'm saying, you're gonna have to speak for your people.
I'm
Like,
trying to
I
speak
can
for my
see
people,
Hippie's
but
mad
like,
at me. Hippie's mad at me.
demons mad at you.
He's
like,
not mad at
because
me, but he's on the fence with
You're
what I'm saying.
definitely because you're attacking the witch community within our group right now by telling us that we're not witches, that we are something completely different than what we believe we are, and I think that that is something that you shouldn't do.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, but I'm just saying. But here's what I'm saying: if you represent your people, speak now.
I've already said my piece. I think that magic users are 100% witches. Granted, the series is fictional, but in the King Killer Chronicles, there's a mental training practice known as Alar, and it is focusing, meditating, and increasing one's mental fortitude and practice splitting their mind into two exact separate consciousness. Whoa. Allowing and in this, it becomes the foundation of how they practice. The split consciousness is so you can do double comprehensive tasks and stretch their understanding of everything. I want that.
Yeah. And so Matt also points out transcendental meditation. So I don't know what the difference between transcendental dental meditation and other meditation is. So my parents were Buddhists. They were Nichiren Buddhists, and then later on, my mom, after they, you know, all this messed up things with my father, my mom would later on become Hindu. You know, when she learned that like Buddhism came from Hinduism, and she's like, well, I'll just cut straight to the chase. And then so we did a lot of this like ashram meditation, and you know, as a kid, I used to do that all the time. But like, I don't know, when people say transcendental meditation, I'm not sure what that practice is.
I believe that transcendental I feel like I know what that is, but I don't want to botch it, so I'm going to look that up.
But, you know, Bellboy, to talk about what Bellboy's talking about. Now, you're actually going to see a lot of things in fiction that at least reference.
Real stuff.
Yeah, real stuff. And so that's completely fine. If you've ever read Robert Heinlein's book, Stranger in a Strange Place, they talk about this. Now, I know a lot of people are like, well, isn't this just the law of attraction? It's a law of attraction with discipline. The law of attraction is something that, like, what the book The Secret talks about. No, this actually involves discipline. We're talking about hours and hours a day of meditation to get real results.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean,
it's
listen,
not the same thing. But I'm saying that book actually also talks about this exact same thing. Particularly about the sigils. It's actually interesting when you research the concept of like the sigils. And language, you know, I mean, you might not like what I'm about to say, but like when God willed the universe into existence, he used language. And so language and symbols are very important in the creation of these types of things,
No, I agree with that. Even though, yeah, okay.
So what about Ouija board? So I would actually argue, for instance, the Ouija board is both a practice of affirmations and sigils combined into one thing.
You think that you think that a Ouija board is an affirmation? Can I ask you why?
It can become an affirmation.
So I have a Ouija board.
When you put into the universe, when I love it how you have it in reachable. She always has it ready to grab out. So when an affirmation becomes willed out into the universe, and so sometimes your questions could end up accidentally being affirmations, secret truths you're uttering to the universe.
So you think that if I ask my Ouija board to connect me with my mother spirit, I'm affirming that? I'm not actually speaking to my mother spirit?
No, I think you are, but I'm saying, so what I'm saying, your intention, you already said it, it's revealing, it's very blatant what you want when you say
I think
that.
intention is magical. I think intention is 100% magical.
Yeah, so
I think
you're stating your intention that you're like, what I want the most, what I want right now is to speak to my mother. And that speaks a million truths right there. Love of your mother, missing your mother, needing to commune with her, all that stuff.
Okay.
But also it has sigils in it as well because of the symbols on it. And the symbols that we give value to the symbols.
So you think that letters are sigils?
Any symbol can be.
That's a sigil.
People have different people have totally different practices in terms of creating the sigils. Like, for instance, there's like some person, another thing, piece sells, but who's buying? Oh, wow. You have to admit that was deep.
No, that was super deep. Oh, no, absolutely. Yeah, I am mad at you, Mantis, LOL. But I do somewhat see what you're saying. Always be open to ideas as a part of the learning process. I am with Miss Hippie. I'm not going to sit here and, like, I feel like I've already told you that I'm kind of, I'm understanding what you're saying. I am. I understand. Yeah. So what is a druid versus wizard versus warlock versus sorcerer? Are they all just different terms of witches? Yes. In my definition, yes, I do believe that they are all different terms of witches. But when Mantis defines witches, he is defining it as a word that was brought in by Christians, basically to burn them at the stake.
Yeah, but they invented the word so they can define what it means.
But you can change the definition of a word.
Well, I'm just saying, like, here's what I'm saying. Your map of like what everything is you have nothing organized. You're like, everyone's a witch. And so I'm saying that
I think that okay, so wait a minute. So you can't categorize anything in life? Do we not have subcategories for almost everything in our lives?
Right, but why would witch become the higher one when it has a very specific meaning? I feel like what we have is like,
I think that which generalizes the word for magic user. Then you subcategorize into your druids and your priestesses and your sorcerers and your wizards and your warlocks and your like demons, gods. Like, okay, so God technically, like you said, is the magic user, correct? He created magic. He created the world. So are you sitting here and saying that all magic users are gods? No, you're not going to sit there and say that, right? But all magic users could be witches who leveled up into becoming druids, priestesses, sorcerers, wizards. I think I said wizards. Warlocks. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, but I'm just saying, like, you have this hard on for the word witch, and you're not accepting like the origins of the word witch. And so basically, it's like you're like, it would be like the same thing as calling all humans black. And you're like, well, the subset of humans is black, and then there's all these things. And I was like, well, black would not be the term that you did.
I mean, we all did come from Africa, just saying. Well, we all have a little percentage of black in us, guys. We're all black.
I want to be black, but I got some bad news for you, girl. Got some bad news for you.
I'm definitely not black, but
we noticed. Oh, she left. So Hannah says, do you believe in fantastical magic? And so what you mean, like throwing fireballs and
I think that's what she means.
summoning
Yes.
wyverns and
I'm
stuff?
gonna go with that's what they mean by Do you believe in fantastical magic, correct?
I do, actually. So, as it has been explained to me, there are some people who, like, you know how you're saying, and so what I'm saying, and actually, let me go into like psychic ability and like all this stuff. So you were pointing out that you have empathy. You know, you're an empath, and some people are telepaths, and some people are clairvoyants, and some have even better gifts or even greater gifts.
Well, I wouldn't say that I'm just empathic, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, whatever it is. And so it is true that people who have those affinities tend to use magic better. That's showing more talent, or whatever word we want to use for innate ability. And supposedly there are people who are so innate in their ability of it that they can do fantastical stuff. They're just incredibly rare. I do believe in that. I absolutely do believe in that.
But you don't. Okay, okay, cool. I believe in wizards. I believe in sorcerers. I believe in supremes. Yes, 100%. But I do think that these, like you said, you're sitting here and you're saying that as a person who has intuition and maybe is clairvoyant can be better at fantastical magic, and we can learn fantastical magic, correct?
I don't think everyone can. I don't think. I think everyone can. Everyone can do some level of magic. Not everyone can do what Harry Potter does or whatever.
But do you think that it is something that you could learn if you were under the tutelage of said sorcerer, wizard, whatever?
No, I think they're to reach that level, you'd have to be born with some sort of whatever it is.
But how would you know if you don't? Okay, but how? So you think that that people are born just throwing fireballs?
No, they have
So they're learning it.
So here's what it is. Here's what it is. With any skill in the universe, people are born with talent. An example is I'm actually told that I'm talented mathematically, but I have zero love for mathematics. I hate mathematics. It's so annoying, and so I never went into any field with it. And so the fact that I'm born with talent of it, still someone who is a physicist is going to destroy me in mathematics. It doesn't matter how talented I was. I never nurtured that ability. And so that's the same thing. So there isn't anyone born with fireballs, but I doubt there's anyone born with fireballs, but I'm just saying they would have had to have nurtured it.
Okay.
What do you think?
So they're learning it. So nurturing it, learning it, being under the tutelage of said sorcerer, wizard. Right?
I'm just saying I don't
I'm asking you a question. Do you believe that it's something that, yes, you have to be born with, but it's something that innately you will have to learn through the tutelage of somebody else who already has the skills?
I would say I would say that I would say normal magic you'd have to have some tutelage. I don't think there's anyone who's born with all sorts of abilities to do anything. You need a master for anything, right?
So it's not technically leveling up.
So I don't think there's anything wrong with your theory of leveling up. I'm not arguing against your leveling up theory.
Right.
I'm arguing with the use of the word witch.
Okay, fine. All right, fine.
And I know you have an issue. My take is that you have an issue with it because Christians made up that word.
Well, Christians can suck my anyway.
They use that word to hold people down, and so you want to fight.
They do. They 100% do. I this is why I left the faith. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Because you're obsessed with the word witch.
Because I have issues with Christians in general, but
yeah, I can tell.
Oh my God. That's messed up. Anyway, but greedy companies like Disney wanted to cash in on that shiz, so they sugarcoated them to make cash grabs like Halloween Town. Right. Yeah, so, okay, wait. Was there something before that? Here's what happened.
Oh, yeah, he said, here's what happened. Witch was historically a term for people who made deals with the devil for power. but greedy companies like Disney wanted to cash in on that shit.
Correct. And I think that that's why we can't really define the word witch as somebody who made a pact with the devil. I think that you're taking, okay, like, yes, was the word witch created by Christians so that they could burn people at the stake for being magic users? I'm not sitting here and I'm not taking that away from you. It is correct. But I think that when you are a magic user and you are a magical person, you do generalize yourself as a witch because... Oh, you should have seen your face.
It was offensive. It was you said it was offensive.
Oh my God. You should have seen your face.
Jiminy Christmas. You're saying that? No, yeah. If you're from New Jersey,
I'm a New Jerseyan. I get it. I'm a Jerseyite.
I'm
like what? Okay.
Here's what I'm saying. I feel like if we were to climb the mountains of Tibet and to find some sort of like true master of this of these arts, and we were like, yeah, how's it feel being a witch? He would not know what the hell you're talking about.
Okay, possibly. Like, but there's shamans too. Like, shaman is a word that's used for a magic user. I get that. And
right, and a shaman wouldn't call himself a witch, I don't think.
Because it's not in their terminology to call themselves a witch. They would call themselves a shaman. Right, correct?
They use words as they are meant to be used.
Oh my!
I don't call my dog a car because my dog's not a car, right? Uh-oh. She's mad.
Okay.
You can become attuned to it rather than born. Yeah, absolutely. What I'm saying is it absolutely, in my opinion, it absolutely requires discipline. Discipline and training and all those things to get true effect out of it.
Right. But would you okay. So you're just saying that if I'm a magical person, I'm a magical practitioner, I'm not a witch.
I would not call you a witch. I think a layman would call you a witch. A layman and you would call yourself a witch.
So now he's calling me a layman. Okay.
No, I'm not calling you a layman. I'm just saying, like, you seem like very connected to this word. I respect that you love the word, you know.
I respect that I want to kind of hit you right now. And now it's cool to be a witch. I don't think it's not cool. Okay, you're right. All right, time out. You know what? I do think that there are too many people who think that it is cool to be a witch. But I do think that we are... Okay. Wow. This was not where I thought this stream was going to go tonight. I know we took a lot of time talking about
definitions of things. Yeah.
I feel like we're going to have to maybe come back and touch on this again. I just think that our definitions are completely different of witch, and that's okay. That listen, we can sit here and disagree all night long. I don't think that we're ever going to agree on what a witch is. And that's okay because you are a religious person and I am not. And I do think that, and I know you're going to jump on me for that, but I do think that it comes down to religion. You as a Christian man don't want your magical practitioner friends to be considered witches because you innately think that it's an evil word.
Yeah, it's meant to describe something evil, yeah. Okay. Like, it's like, here's what I'm saying. Here's actually my example.
I think that hag is... wait, okay, time out. Let's go to Wizard of Oz. Well, let's go to Wizard of Oz, right? There's the good witch and there's the bad witch, right? Let's go to...
Idiot farmer wrote that. Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. It's like, in my opinion, calling a soldier who goes and fights for his country a murderer. That's a misuse of the word. He might be a killer. You might take people's lives. He's not a murderer. There's a definition to murderer, and that's not it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Oh, she's saying they are murderers. She hates the troops.
No, I never said that. Oh my goodness gracious. No.
You heard it here first.
Thank you all for your service. That is messed up. That is so messed up. I want to stay, but I require music for the gym. Belle, thank you so much for being here.
Remember,
Thank you
this is recorded if you need to work out, and then you can listen to the rest of it later. We got about another 45 minutes of me trampling over Lainey's witch dreams.
You think you're trampling, sir. You are not trampling at all. How dare
thank you for stopping in, brother, and thank you for that donation. The demon says, here's the thing, though, about being a witch. You see that we don't pressure you to join us. If you want to be part of us, then join us. If you just want to understand us, then come join us at a comment. But we don't pressure you like Christianity does. So, I feel you. But you know, my whole thing is it's not about like, you know, one or the other. I understand. Like, a lot of people are upset about not only what Christians have done to witches in the past, but 100%. Just their endless recruiting, you know, like, yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. There were 800 women and men who were accused of being witches just here in the States. Salem alone.
Right.
800 people. I believe
Goody
23 of them were killed. One was pressed to death, and the rest were hung. Okay, do you think that these people were evil, and do you think that they deserved to be hung?
I don't know
and pressed.
Wait,
all I'm sitting here and saying, it's a great question. All I'm sitting here and saying is that, like, they determined who was a magic user, and it didn't matter if they were evil or not evil. It was anything that was supernaturally done by a human being that got them killed.
But they were told. Well, here's what I'm saying, and I'm not saying I don't know anything about their guilt. I don't know anything about the case. Historians would say that they were not guilty. This was all madness. I'm not there for the case. I don't know the facts of the case. Every individual person. Can I decide whether they deserve to die? There's no way I can determine that. It sounds like they were railroaded and screwed over pretty bad. But every one of them was accused of consorting with the devil. Consorting with the devil was the main thing of it. It wasn't.
They were accused of consorting with the devil. Accused of it. Right. Accused, though. Mantis. It was not that they were consorting with the devil.
Guilty. I just literally just said that. I just said I don't know if they're guilty or not.
Okay, I don't want to argue anymore.
No, but I don't understand what you want. What point were you trying to make right there?
I guess I can't make my point. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if they were guilty. They were probably not guilty. They were probably railroaded. It's not all right.
They were 100% railroaded. But I'm sitting here and I'm saying that we say, okay, so the problem is that I don't even know anymore. I honestly think that you have just destroyed my brain tonight, and it's gone. Like, what?
So I'm sorry if I'm a person who during these podcasts wants us to define our terms.
I feel like I did define my term. I think that, like I said, you want everything to be in a perfect, pristine little box.
I'm saying we should define our terms and not be like the outside world. You know, the world throws the word witch around. We being investigators should not stoop so low.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay, then I'm a magic bearing woman. I am not a witch. Is that what you wanted to hear? I concede, Mantis. I concede.
Oh, she can see. Wait, did you just say that?
I did.
Yo, Miss Hippie, you saw that? Belle, you saw that? Demon, you saw that? She concedes.
Concede.
She concedes.
You win this week. You win this week.
Thank you. I will not rub it in you. Savvy says,
well, you just did. So, hi, Savvy. How are you, hon? It's good to see you. I don't like it here anymore.
You don't. Wait, hold on. You do realize that I don't think those people will probably not guilty.
I think that there were like 1 out of 2 that were guilty, but I'm also
I don't
saying
know.
here,
I don't know anything.
But here's my thing too: is that I think that I think that hag would be a better word for evil magic doer, just like warlock is an evil magic male.
So
like,
warlocks are evil by definition.
By definition, well, you'd probably say it's a Wicca definition, but yes, warlocks are evil. They are considered evil magic doers. And I believe that a hag would be an evil female magic doer. And hag has been in our definition before witch.
So I'm looking it up right now. So I know what, like, I thought a hag was just an old chick. Okay, so a hag, a witch, especially one in the form of an ugly old woman, often uses a term of disparagement for women. Yeah, I know it's pretty messed up. Yeah, like the crone or whatever, right? Like the crone.
Crone has been in our definition for way longer than witch. I think that witch is a poorly. It's a poorly described word. I really do. Sorry, not sorry. So what about wizards? I think that wizards is a level up from a witch. But
where are you creating the system? This is the Laney system of
maybe it is the Laney system. I don't know. Maybe it's not just the Laney system. Maybe it's just. I think that we sit here and we want to categorize every little thing, and it's like a wizard's still a witch.
How do you discuss something without describing it?
I'm just.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay. I'm a magic user. I've already conceded. You've already won. I don't know what you want me to do.
You wore the word witch like a badge of honor, and then now that you feel like you're like, if Mantis is trying to take away my witchdom. Is that it?
I've never called myself a witch before this stream ever. Just so you know.
Never.
Never.
It's probably because you never consorted with the devil.
This is why you don't have these kind of conversations with the crowd. No, I'm just
kidding. Throughout Europe before the Salem witch trials, there have been some real famous witches, including Catherine Monsovny from Germany, who sold potions to people. Mainly, she was really accused and murdered as being a witch for selling abortion potion.
Mm-hmm.
She was an abortionist basically, and they took that out on her. It was like, she's a witch, which is like totally evil. In Ireland, Alice Kyteler, who was a black widow, she was killing her husbands for their money, and they're like,
she was actually the first ever convicted witch in Ireland.
Oh, good for her.
Fun fact: she had 4 husbands, all died, and she would gain their everything, estates.
I don't judge black widows. They do what they got to do. I assume they're married to assholes. Hello,
hi
Susie.
Sue. How are you, babes?
Welcome to the stream. Check this out. We've got Isabel from Scotland, Isabel Growdy. So check this out. She was a poor lady who she went to a house to beg a rich man for money. She was knocking on the door, and the maid went and got it. And the maid was like, "Go away, you little witch! You little bitch! Fuck off, or whatever." And then what happened is the maid ended up becoming ridiculously sick and died within a few days. And then they were like, "She's a witch," and they hunted down the poor lady and they got her. And then they accused her of being a witch. They convicted her, and apparently before they put her to death, supposedly her guard got insanely sick as well too and died. And they think that she before she died, she cursed him as well.
Maybe she did. I mean, listen, you're gonna kill me, I'll curse you.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's pretty interesting, right?
It is pretty interesting. Also, fun fact, did you all know that a lot of people think that there were burnings here in the States, but there never were?
Right. No, not a single person was burned. That was actually medieval shit. That was some medieval shit, but in America, they never did that. And like you said, 800 people were accused in the Salem witch trials, but only, 23 were executed?
23. Yeah, 23
So
were
you know
executed.
what's super fascinating?
What is?
The history books have found out, like they discuss and they talk about in detail what happens to every person who's found in the crucible and all these things. But I think her name was Abigail, the one who started it. They have no records as to whatever happened to her.
Yes, I did actually. I actually heard that story today. Isn't that a fun fact? Okay, but here's my question too: is witch not used in the Bible? The word witch not used in the Bible?
I can't be quoted as that, but I don't think the word was in use at that point. Whether someone translated it to the word witch, I don't think so. But it could be. There are probably some translations that use terms like witch. You know.
Okay.
You know, we should take a group trip to the library. Tee hee hee.
Let's go.
To the library. I think we should go to where the Salem witch trials were.
Oh, I've been. It's pretty interesting. I've been to Salem. It's so much fun. I'll go again in a heartbeat.
So, Lainey, you just need to admit to me. Just be truthful with me. Is the reason why you're so sensitive about the word witch is it because you actually practice witchcraft? Do you consort with the devil?
I don't consort with the devil, Mantis. I do not consort with the devil. I have never made a pact with the devil. The devil is not in my wheelhouse of any entity that I would want to consort with.
Any fallen angels or demons or anything?
I don't think so. I don't know. I feel like I've definitely had entities who have come in and wanted to help me, but I've always turned them away because I don't know if I want to. How do I say this? I don't know if I want to open myself to the powers that I have.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel you, but also you got to remember, there's no even pact with these creatures.
No, exactly. Well, that's
you're
one
not.
for
You're
sure.
never on even playing field with them, and so they need you to agree to that contract. But if you were to, it's not going to be even. They're going to keep taking like a leech.
Okay, but I don't. Oh. See, I'd have to disagree with you there too. I think that like you think that evil. Okay, so good and evil is so black and white to you, right? There's no gray.
There's gray. There's a ton of gray.
So if I were to consort with a demon, let's say, or an angel, you're sitting there and saying that you understand the gray in between the lines.
Well, no one knows the gray. That's the whole thing. People can't see the gray. It's like it's hard to see the gray. But I'm just saying, like a demon.
Yeah, you don't think that there's any gray with a demon?
No. I mean, do you think there's a gray? You think you can cut a fair pact with the demon?
Yeah, I think that there could be 100. No, I don't think that there's a fair pact with a demon, nor an angel, nor God, nor goddess. I think that like.
Right.
If you are going into a pact, 100%. I'm a mere human mortal compared to these immortal beings who have God only know how much power. But I do think that there is gray. I don't think that these entities necessarily want to do damage to you or hurt you in any way. I think that they want to see. I think that when it comes to power, let's say, I think that we're all fascinated by it, and we want to see where it can go and where the growth goes and what happens and how you manipulate your own power or how you grow into your own power. And I think that gods, goddesses, witches, demons, angels, demons, they want to do the same thing. They want to see where you can pull your power to.
Okay, so I would say that, and so it's everyone's personal whole thing. My understanding is that like other than the Canaanite gods are demons at this point. They were banished to hell from Yahweh, so they're bad.
Okay, but Yahweh. Okay.
But I would say that like I don't know if Apollo is put in hell. I don't know if he's bad. Mm-hmm. He could mean good for you, which is why I would call you a priestess of Apollo or Mercury or whoever it is, right? I don't claim to know their origins. In terms of angels, God has made it clear that he does not want the angels to friggin' mess with the humans.
Well, God has made it clear that he doesn't.
Finish that statement. Finish it!
I think that when it comes to evil and gray and ambiguity, I think that good word. I think that I think that religious seeking people want to see all of the good in God when he is probably the most gray entity in the universe.
Okay.
I don't think he's innately good. I don't think he's innately evil. I think that he is both, and he can be destructive and nasty and downright evil. And we're talking about other gods and goddesses who have been struck to hell because he chose so, because he's the most powerful, not necessarily because they are the most evil.
It works for me.
Okay, good. I'm glad. Wow.
Yeah, it works for me because you know what it is like.
Wow.
No, I agree that like it's this idea that, like, for instance, I hate the concept where everyone says God is love, God is love. I was like, have you read the Bible? God is a range of emotions, and some of them are jealous and enraged and destructive. He is wrathful, and he even says, "I'm a jealous God." At one point, he says, "I'm a jealous God." You don't go around worshiping other gods. Period. And so that's who he is. And so I don't worship him because he's pure love. He has great love for me. I will tell you that. I'm not denying his love. He loves the crap out of me. I love that about him. But I know he has other emotions, and I'm not about to piss him off though. you know, and I think like your argument might be like, you're like, well, this isn't fair to these other entities and these other gods. It is what it is, man. You know? These pagan gods aren't holding any cards, so I'm not communing with them.
But they used to.
They
Until
used to.
Yahweh decided that they can't hold these cards anymore, correct?
Yeah. He was like, I'm done with this. As a matter of fact, and once again, any Christians listening to this, you know, like Steve or other people, hello, Shaolin Ice Master. People will think that this is messed up, but it's true. People don't know this, but Yahweh was at the bottom of the totem pole, in his own pantheon when they were polytheists. When he was a Canaanite god, he was not considered the top tier. And he turned on them. He was like, "F these guys."
Sounds a lot like Lucifer, no?
It sounded like he went for his bag.
Sounds a lot like
all of us who went for the bag.
It sounds a lot like Lucifer, does it not? I'm just gonna put that one out there too.
I mean, I have a lot of I have atypical beliefs on stuff. Like, for instance, like with Lucifer, I actually don't. Here's the whole thing. I don't actually think that he's like the Prince of Darkness.
Why can't I get into my goddamn computer? Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I'm so sorry. Did I just hear? Okay, finish that statement, sir.
Okay, so when you actually look at all the stories involving Satan or him, he is so in the non-canonical book. However, we all know it's real. The Book of Enoch, he is punished. He is cast out of heaven at one point because he's angry. However, he's back in at later chapters of the Bible, and it seems almost as. And so when you actually look at the old Hebrew for the word of Satan, his name is adversary. And when you look at Job or other stories, God uses him as a sounding board to be a devil's advocate. He says, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And then Lucifer looks at him and goes, but my Lord, what if we do A, B, C? And he's like, what? And they kind of have these things. And literally in Job, they're sitting down talking about the life of Job and manipulating the life of Job like they're old friends.
Because they were old friends. He was literally God's favorite angel.
Yeah. So another thing that comes to mind, and this is so funny. I was talking to I'm sorry, I'm getting so personal religious stuff. I was talking, but this was years ago. I was talking to a good friend of mine, love her, Lauda. She is a Pentecostal, And she was like, and I brought up the thing. I was like, well, you know, God will eventually forgive Satan. And she said, what? That's blasphemy. I said, but the Bible says in multiple places that God forgives everyone. So even if Satan had decided to be like, I'm better than you and I'm going to have orgies with humans, God would forgive him over that. That's not even the worst thing people have done to God. And so I not only do I think like he's going to forgive him, I think he already forgave him. Since the book of Enoch, I think he's forgiven him. I think he's like in his court hanging out with him.
And what about hell?
So I do believe hell is filled with the Canaanite gods, and I think those guys are like totally pure evil.
Okay, but what do you think
like
about
Moloch and Baal and all those guys?
Do you think that he? This is totally taking a turn, guys. But I'm actually. I'm
sorry. I'm so sorry.
Anyhow, what was I saying? Oh, do you ADHD moment? He wasn't evil, but he wanted to be God. I don't know if I necessarily believe that either. I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Hannah. I don't think that he wanted to be God. I think that anyway. That assumes that good and evil are concepts above God himself. Oh.
Yes, and so actually,
but that's what I'm also sitting there and saying. Okay, go ahead. But that's also go ahead.
One of my fraternity brothers, he actually was a pastor, and so he had left. You know, he was done with college and he became a pastor, but he was a UU, Unitarian Universal. So that's like a church that like anything goes, whatever belief you want is good. And so we used to have him like marry people and do all sorts of things. And so we called him Reverend Wheezy, which was his pledge name, Wheezy. And but however, he was a philosophy major and eventually a theology major. And his thesis was about why does God want us to be good? If God is obsessed with good, is it possible that good is a force that's above God? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, if God is supreme, but he's obsessed with being good and he insists you're good, the force of being good, the concept of good is above him as well. Right? So what is good and evil? It's crazy, right?
Mm-hmm. But some people tend to forget God regrets making mankind. That's, yeah.
So I'm not sure if
I don't know if God regrets making mankind.
I think he did say, like, you idiots. I think he did say that at one point.
Well, also, he didn't give us what we have. Like, that was Lucifer and Pandora's box, or whatever story you want to go to. We weren't given the, what am I trying to say? Free will or the idea of we were basically put on this planet to be little ants to serve God. And it was like our free will and our nature was given to us by other deities. God didn't give that to us.
Wait, say that one more time.
I feel like I'm saying this incorrectly. We were put on this planet to be ants to revere God. Right? Like he wanted us basically as pets. He wanted us to be little puppy dogs.
I would argue with that, but keep going.
Okay. And most of the stories show that our free will was given to us by another powerful being, whether it was Lucifer or a deity, or like our free will was given to us. It wasn't put into us by God.
So my interpretation of like Genesis and all the stuff like that is that we were gonna get free will, but we weren't ready for it. And he's like, I'm gonna give it to you down the line, and that we ended up snatching it too early. And then he's like, okay, we're gonna have to start from the beginning. And since then he's been teaching us concepts of humanism and being good people. Like, you know, he's basically like, damn, back to the drawing board, you idiot. But I think the reason why the plant was there, my assumption, because it doesn't say in the book that we were eventually supposed to eat it. I think we weren't ready for it, is what it is. You see what I'm saying?
But that's like the red button. You put something in front of.
That's it. That was the miscalculation. He's like, I'll just leave this tree there and tell them not to touch it.
But God miscalculate? He's God. He's all seeing, is he not?
Well, so I'll tell you this. I'm probably going to go to hell for this. I don't believe God is infallible. I think that's just something we say. I think that's just a thing we rock. We're like the infallible God. Is he infallible? You know what it is? He's so less fallible than us. But I think he clearly everything messes up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, for instance, how did he not see Satan's rebellion? That's a mistake.
Okay, but did Satan rebel or okay, so here's the thing too, is that we all sit here and we say rebellion is this thing that, like, aren't we all pushed to rebel? Aren't we not? So let's look at the world today, right? We're all sitting here and we're talking about a revolution. We're talking about being rebellious and fighting against a tyrannical government, correct? We're being pushed to that, correct? Well, so are we going to sit there and say that the angels didn't maybe feel the same way, that God was pushing them to that limit, to that point? And Lucifer just happened to be the one who was able to get the other fallen angels behind him and say, let's do this.
So, I would say, here's the thing. I don't know if we're being pushed, but I think it's in our nature to rebel. I think all these revolutions happen across the planet, everywhere. I think that it is absolutely in our nature to do that, right?
But does the book not also tell us that angels don't feel the way we feel as humans?
Yeah, they do say, it does say that, and yet Lucifer still was like, let's rebel. Savvy says I'm back. What did I miss? Some very intense theological discussion, bro. Which I think is fair because we already talked about Hermetic magic. Now we're talking about the powers.
Well, right, and I also feel like it's still right, and it's still me trying to get you to admit that witch is not necessarily an innately
I don't know
evil
this
word.
I don't know how any of this stuff we're talking about.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. You can only be fallible if you are beholden to a moral code that is above you.
Right. And so is it that God only wants us to follow goodness, or does he follow goodness?
No, I don't think he follows goodness. I think that what goodness is his definition of good. It's his word. It's his definition.
It's his world, though. Like there's no one out there.
But it wasn't just his world.
And so
he pushed the other gods and goddesses to the depths of hell.
Yeah.
It wasn't just his world.
I think he's a baller. I think he's an innovator and a baller.
And that's where you and I will disagree. I'm sorry. I cannot.
So check this out. Do you know who? You probably don't. You don't. But you know who Lotan is of the Canaanite gods? He's a 7-headed dragon.
Okay.
He was one of the Canaanite gods. That Yahweh was one of the Canaanite gods, and so he cast them all into hell, except for Lotan. Now, if you look at the Book of Revelations, it doesn't call him Lotan, but it says a 7-headed dragon will appear, the first beast. And so what it is when you're talking about infallible, clearly that was a mistake that God couldn't capture it. Because
so
clearly,
do you think that they're okay? So do you think that
hell, right?
Okay.
But the other guys, Baal and all these other guys, are all down in hell. But I'm just saying, like he's in charge. I'm going to follow him. I don't know why I'd follow these losers like Zeus or these other losers who have failed at controlling the world, right? I mean, can you explain that to me? Why do people say I'm going to commune with Zeus?
Because I think that people who want to commune with the other gods and goddesses understand that God is not infallible and that there is potential innate evil in God.
Let me ask you, have you ever served a master? Oh wait, that may have come out wrong. Have you ever served a master? And you don't have to explain the details, just say yes or no. Have you ever served a master? Come on, just tell us.
I don't know if I want to answer that.
Okay, she doesn't want to answer that. Okay, she doesn't have to answer that. So, I had a master, non-sexual, my kung fu master, and so I was employed by him, and he was my kung fu master, and all these things. And here's what I'm saying, and I love him to death. He is a very flawed man. However, part of serving a master is pretending they're not. When he would mess up, I'd just like look the other way. I'd be like, I didn't see that. This is how it is.
But I don't think that is. Man, okay.
Oh, you don't agree? But where has knowledge gotten us, Demon? Demon says, actuality, Lucifer was trying to not make us slaves of Yahweh and believe in knowledge. And I dig that. He wants everyone to grow, be like, yo, embrace that knowledge. But where has the knowledge gotten us exactly? We're closer to nuclear war than we've ever been to date. We have all sorts of horrible. We mistreat each other all the time. We're all doing all these horrible things. Is that the path? Is my question. That's just what I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just pointing that out. Right,
but we keep cycling. So Yahweh is deciding to just basically make us. We're an experiment. I think I've said this before. I completely think that we are just an experiment, and he's trying to, or they, whatever they are trying to find the right formula for humanity. But why? Like, what is so fascinating about humans that Yahweh wants to continue us on this cycle?
So, Mormons have an answer to this, and I'm not sure if I agree with them. Laney says, Logan says, so Laney, what is the definition of innate evil? He says, are we talking PTMS? And then Savvy, talking about your laughter earlier, says, so that's a yes.
Plead the fifth. Like, why is it wrong to kill babies? I mean, oh my God.
That's a pretty intense question, right?
That's super intense.
Logi's there for it, though.
I'm not answering that. I mean,
right?
Why
you don't have to
like,
answer anything you want to.
Yeah. Anyway.
So, but yeah, Mormons would say, "Yo, what up? Rebuke, greetings, salutations." So Mormons would say that God created us and gave us knowledge so that we could become gods ourselves. You know about this whole thing?
I do actually know about this whole thing. Yeah, there is the belief that you can basically one up, guys, again, into godhood.
Level up.
which is also the ultimate, like, your soul is never. That's the belief also where, hold on, what English. English would be great right now. So reincarnation is giving you the ability to become a god yourself. So you're going through these lives to find yourself basically in utopia, or what you ever want to call it, the collective, and you're ever growing your soul to, yes, become godhood.
So I personally I don't buy into that whole Mormon thing, but like that's their thing, that's cool or whatever.
Are you saying I'm a Mormon? Because I actually do believe it.
Wait, what did you say?
I'm not a Mormon, but I do think that our soul is more powerful than we think.
Like that we could become a god.
I don't know if we can become a god. I do think that we could become.
You think you could take on Yahweh?
Give me the chance.
Lord, I don't know this woman. Do a podcast with her.
Come on, Yahweh knows I'm kidding on that one.
But yeah, I see your point, Mantis. But at the same time, why do we keep saying knowledge is power when we know everything to become smarter and to be more knowledgeable? And basically, with knowledge, you seem to teach past mistakes, hoping that you don't repeat the same mistakes over and over, which is confusing. Why your way doesn't want us to have knowledge? So answer me on this one. So I believe God was going to give us the knowledge. That's why the fruit was there. I just think we weren't ready for the knowledge. I think you know what it is. It's like, yeah, I'm going to use a martial arts thing. When you join martial arts and you're doing it, and you're a kid, and you're like, "That's so awesome!" And you see a sword on the wall, and you're like, "I can't wait to do the sword. Can I do the sword, master?" And he's like, "No, not until blue belt." You're like, "Damn it, come on!" And you're going.
That's exactly right. So you. Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
And
I
there's
don't
like
know
a
if I can
good
agree with you.
reason why you have to wait till blue belt to get a broadsword. You know, you physically are not aware enough of what's going on. Would be my guess. That's that. Once again, anything I'm saying is just a total theory. What do I know? And I said, sorry, I was in the shower. I didn't mean to take Lainey away for so long. What?
Oh my goodness. What I'm trying to point out is, how do you know what evil and good are? Like, if God is potentially evil and he created us, how can we trust his definition of evil? Right, and I'm with Logie on this. Like, that's what I'm saying. I think that we don't know what good and evil is. We don't know what God considers good and evil. I understand where you're going with that, Logie. But I also think that we're smart enough to know that killing babies is evil. Right. Oh God.
I'm not a Moloch follower.
A Moloch.
So you know the general story of like Moses and Exodus and all that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he leaves Egypt. He saves the people. He parts the water. They get to Israel, and they're like, "Yay!" And then he's like, "God wants me to reflect up in the mountains. I gotta go." And then he goes up there. He writes the 10 Commandments. And when he comes down, they are worshiping a golden calf, right? And so, what a lot of people are like, "What is this golden calf? What is a golden?" The Bible does its best to not reference the Canaanite gods where Yahweh came from, but there was a cow-faced god called Moloch. He was the god of strength and war and fire, and he demanded child sacrifices. And so when Moses saw that, he flipped out. He's like, "What are you doing? It is Yahweh who saved us, you idiots!" And all these things. And what I'm just saying is, like, God took Moloch, that son of a bitch who demands child sacrifices, and tossed him into hell. And so I'm pro that. And I'm going to be pro anything. Like pretty much anything Yahweh does, I'm going to be pro, basically, because he calls the shots.
Okay, I'm not sitting here and trying to take you away from your faith. I love that you are a faithful person, and I you know that you believe in Yahweh. I'm just sitting here and I'm saying also, like, there are some things that I don't agree with. What I'm trying to point out is, wait, bring that back. Thank you. I actually did want to answer it.
Were we on Logan or Demon?
Oh no, yeah, keep going, because Logi's got another question. It's all a bunch of it is all a bunch of hypothesis.
Yeah, hypotheticals, whatever.
And how can we call God evil without knowing what evil is? Loki, I'm not sitting here and saying that God is evil. I never said that. That never came out of my mouth. I never said that he was evil nor good. I'm sitting there and saying that he's in the gray. I think that all gods and goddesses are. I think that we're meant to live in the gray as well. Because we're learning. We're a learning creature. We are learning the knowledge that God wants to give us, or whatever you believe in wants to give us. I'm not fighting you guys on wanting to believe that your God is this beautiful, innately good being. I'm just sitting here and saying that I think that we all need to look more in the gray. Because I do think that God is gray. He's gray. He's not, or they are not. They're not just good and they're not just evil. They are.
He's non-binary.
Well, yeah. We don't know. Do you know that God is a man? I'm just sitting there and saying, do you know that God is a man? Do you know?
No,
you don't. We have no idea what God, Yahweh, is.
Well, God's everything. So
God is everything, which would make them non-binary, correct?
No, that makes sense. So yeah, because in ancient Hebrew, God in heaven is masculine and God on earth is feminine. and they ended up translating that to Father and Holy Spirit, but really Holy Spirit is feminine. So,
Correct. Thank you.
I may
I
be
appreciate,
going
I appreciate that one, Mantis. I do. Thank you for giving me that one.
I keep it real. I just tell how it is. I just wish you understood about witches, but Loki says that's often the reaction to such a question. It's obvious it's wrong. It's so obvious.
Okay, so let me answer that question because he did actually ask a question before that. Logie says that it's wait. Logie said,
what was his?
What I'm trying to point out is how do we know what evil and good are? Like, if God is potentially evil and he created us, how can we trust his definition of evil? I'm pretty sure you couldn't answer why that's wrong. I can't answer why it's wrong to kill a baby or a child. I can't answer you that question. But I'm also one of those women who do believe in my right to want abort. Like, I feel like we're going to get political a little bit here too. That to me is not a child. If it's a child living outside of my womb, I just know in my heart of heart that it is not the right thing to kill that kid. And I think that we all have that feeling unless you're a fucking psychopath who goes and kills kids because you want to. It's just this. It's feeling, is it not? Good and evil is just it's more of an emotion rather than a knowing.
So
right?
What you're saying is that morality is a compass that lurks in our heart, and we just know what is wrong and what is right.
Correct. I think it's an emotion. Good and evil is an emotion.
I agree with that. And so when people are like, well, in certain countries or certain situations in other places, it's all right to kill X, Y, and Z. And I was like, I bet you anything those people have issues like let's say the Middle East when they do a mercy killing, when they're like honor killing. This girl offended my family. My cousin offended my family by giving some dude head. I'm going to kill her. I bet you anything he feels horrible when he does it. There's no way he doesn't feel that tinge that it's evil.
Okay, but maybe they didn't. Listen, I'm not saying. I think. Oh God, this is a tough conversation.
Poor Lainey's falling apart. She was not ready.
I'm not falling apart. I'm not ready for this. This was not the conversation that I thought I was going to be having this evening. Morality exists in free will, and you're absolutely right. Listen, if I choose to go out there and kill another human being, that is my choice. I don't know if I'm going to feel that it was evil or if it was good. But isn't that kind of the definition between a vigilante too, where they don't, we don't know what's going on. I have no idea what is going on in another person's mind. They may have killed that person thinking that it was the best thing in the world that they possibly could have done. And that is their free will. Me personally, I think that it is evil to go kill a child. Me personally, I think that it is evil to go and kill another man. I don't give a flying fuck what you think or what you feel. If that's what you want to do, go do it. That's on you, not on me. That's your morality, not mine.
And even though we're coming close to an end, I've got to say, I'm not even sure if I believe in free will.
Oh.
For some light topic, guys. Because here's my question for everyone out here who's listening. When did you decide to be you?
Did we decide?
That's the question. Did you decide to be you? Did you actually decide what your favorite color is? Or did you just know what your favorite color is and that's how it is? Did you decide
I don't actually have a favorite color.
Well, whatever it is, whatever your situation is. Thank you for derailing that. But I'm just saying, our style, our feeling, did we actually pick it ourselves, or is it just who we are? Can we not help who we are? When we're nervous and we make a joke or we react to nervousness the way we react to it, whether it's anxiety or joking or being aggressive, do you actually control that, or is that instinct? And therefore, when does free will happen? When did I decide to be Roy? Or, I'm sorry, Mantis? I don't fucking know. Right? I didn't decide all this stuff. It just happens. You think an incel who's creepy around girls has decided to do that? I don't think he did.
You
He
don't.
just
So
didn't.
so you okay? Listen, I do 100% believe in free will. I see that you and Logie are on the same path and don't believe in free will. I do. I will always believe in free will. I think that our paths can be defined by our environments, for sure. But I still think that that's the free will of my mother and my father. That's the free will of the people who raised
Well,
me.
if it's your mother and if it's them, then it's not your free. It's not free will because it's not
But
you.
it's my free will to break those. I think it's my free will to break the patterns, to break what is expected of me.
Why is morality different for nine different people? That's why we need religion to keep on course.
I'm not sitting. Listen, y'all think that I'm an unreligious woman. I know that most of you think that. I don't think that you really understand the inner workings of my mind, nor what I believe in. I have never.
I don't think anything of you. I know
well,
you take a piss on the Bible every night.
I take a piss on the Bible. I do take a piss on that. I will take a piss on that book, and then burn it, gladly, and most of the books. I'm sorry. I would. Sorry.
So Savi says, I decided to be me when I was a kid. Okay, so that's cool. I don't remember when I decided to be me. I don't even know when I decided. That's like, wow. Right?
I didn't decide to be me, be this way. If I didn't have to be this way, I wouldn't choose this. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that there are not things put into our lives to distract, to teach, to show us our strength. But I think that it is our free will to decide whether or not we are going to persevere through our own hardships. I think that's free will. Do you not? Do you think that it wouldn't be easier for a person who is ill to sit down and say, you know what, I'm done with this life. I'm just gonna go die.
Do you feel like it's
is it not free will? Is it not free will to sit there and say, I'm going to persevere through this. I'm going to make the best of what I'm living through. I'm going to make the best of what I can do out of this life that has been given to me. Is that not free will?
Do you feel like it's like The Sims?
Oh, 100%. I think
Where
that
somebody, you create a sim and then you just give them characteristics and they react and they do whatever they want and they're just doing their thing. They had no choice over the matter.
So you think that we're being controlled?
Oh, definitely. Something designed me to be an asshole. I don't know why.
I mean, they definitely did.
Someone designed me to define words and to be hard on people who can't define words. Feel me? Like Witch. She didn't get it, guys.
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
Would someone choose to have decided? Well, we don't decide that kind of fate on our lives, but in terms of our personality, we didn't decide that either. I don't think I didn't decide parts of my characteristics.
I don't think. Listen, I think that free will. I think that you're saying that free will is every aspect of our lives. I don't think that that's the case either. I think that free will is
just a choice. I didn't choose my favorite color. I didn't choose anything.
So you say you say that you didn't choose your favorite color, but you've seen the spectrum of colors in your life, correct? You've seen them, and it just happens that you were drawn to green, right? So
not a choice. It just is. I'm not attracted to the chicks that I'm interested in. I'm not attracted to, like when people are like, "Oh, you love sci-fi." I don't remember making that choice. I've always loved sci-fi. It's just how it is. Right, and so I can only climax when I strangle a kitten. I didn't choose that. It's just who.
And I think that is where we are going to end the show tonight.
Are we getting too real right now? Are we getting too real?
No, I'm just sitting here. I think that I could go on for hours. Oh my God. I get you, Lainey. The Bible is a good history book from different perspectives. 100%. Also, it was rewritten too many times, especially by the Anglo-Saxon white male. It's just saying, free will equals law of attraction.
You know the white male's responsible for everything, including like free whale sucking or something.
Yeah.
So
anyway, so listen, I don't honestly, I'm enjoying the conversation. If you want to end it, I totally get it. I know you have, I'm assuming you have fanboy tonight.
I do, but really ultimately what I'm really thinking about is eating dinner. I'm hungry. What do you do in this case? Do you eat before, after? What do you do?
I don't eat. I've already told you this.
You don't ever eat?
No, I'm gonna eat after this. But anyway. I'm not a robot, guys. I do actually eat. Yes, I do sustain my life force with food.
I see we had a significant drop in viewers. Guys, it's not a kitten. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. It's puppies. But anyway, that is Mothership Monday. I think we hit a lot of interesting things about. It's funny that we ended up talking about religion as usual. We did talk about a lot of magic stuff.
We did. I don't think we really got the answers that we were looking for this evening, which is fine. I think that we're going to actually kind of circle back and talk about a lot of things that we've talked about before.
If you guys want to learn magic, I'm opening up a Harry Potter school.
Oh my god. If you want to learn magic, do not go to Mantis.
It's called the Mantis Academy for Black Sorcery. Join me, guys. Join me.
I'm too white for that, so I won't be there.
How to do it. A lady can only teach you how to be a witch.
I'm done.
I've had so much fun tonight. What about you?
An amazing time, always. Cause, effect, your choices.
Sorry.
Cause, effect. Your choices are the result of a gazillion factors out of your control. Okay.
Right. Right, man. Obviously, the answer. Thank you for that, Hannah.
Do a part two.
We will. We've got so many other things. We still have sirens and mermaids. We still have all sorts of other shit.
I mean, yeah, I do. Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here tonight. Please do remember to thumbs up, subscribe, make sure to like us both on Twitch. I'm trying to get to affiliate. Woo!
Yes, get her to affiliate and also join our Discords. Yeah, what are you guys waiting for?
Yo, for real, join the cult.
What's happening down there? I've had so much fun. Do you have any streams or anything fun things coming on, lady?
As of right now, I'm just sticking to Mothership Mondays. It's not that I don't want to bring back Roundhouse Trolley. It's just I need to find time.
It's that she doesn't have free will, so she can't.
Yeah, I do let my bosses control my life. Thanks for that.
I don't have bosses. I don't have rules. So I will be streaming with my shirt off, eating my chicken wings. And you're going to see all sorts of fun things. However, brunch is starting back up tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Eastern.
Yay.
Come to brunch on Twitch. It is the Fat Mantis, joking around, hanging out. I hope you're all going to be there. And then Wednesday, of course, not only is there going to be a brunch, but also that night, 8 p.m., I've got Matt, who was in the chat earlier, coming on to talk about DC Comics and DC properties and stuff on Rogue Planet.
That's so exciting. Yay.
It's going to be a good-ass time. Ken says Westworld needs to end. I'm making a video about that, actually, this week. Can't wait to talk about it, guys. But until next time, guys, ciao for now.
Bye, guys.
Bye.